Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, it's another episode of 94 Feet Podcast. Your boy Big Zeke in the building. I'm here with my co-host, Dre.
What up? Oh, we ain't your brother no more?
My other co-host, Kesey.
What's good, good people?
How y'all doing
Good
today?
to be in the building today.
Okay.
Button's not working.
Jesus
Jesus Christ.
Right now.
Why don't you just leave the buttons alone?
I know the button.
Anyways,
Co-host.
how y'all been doing?
I'm great. Co-host, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Good.
Kesey?
Good co-host.
Oh, all right, that's good, man. Gonna start off how we usually do with the injury report. Don't worry about it, Trey. I got it. The Golden State Warriors, no injuries, but Steph Curry lower leg injury will be evaluated in a week. The Los Angeles Lakers are without D'Angelo Russell
Already?
with ankle. He's day to day, but he did not play in today's game. And for the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo is right quad contusion, and he will be out. He was out today's game. The timetable is unknown at this current right now. And as the Minnesota Timberwolves have no new injuries, but Karl Anthony Towns is still out with a calf injury. The team hopes to bring him back before the season ends. The New Orleans Pelicans, Zion Williamson hamstring. He had a setback in rehab and will be out for several more weeks. And the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant, knee issue. He plans to make his debut on March 1st this week. And those are your injury report. Then we're going to move on to the shoot around, which we usually do. We talk about news, rumors, things going on around in the NBA. Just a real quick recap. Team Giannis beat Team LeBron 184-175 in the NBA All-Star game. And Jason Tatum wins MVP with a record of 55 points. Now, I want to get into the thing that was been talked about a lot after the All-Star game was how bad it was. But first, I just want to talk real quick. Ratings declined 29% and viewership 27% from last year. The NBA All-Star game was well behind this year's NFL Pro Bowl. This year, the game declines the steepest for the game since the year 2000. What are your guys' thoughts?
The All-Star game is terrible. I'm actually surprised it did as well as it did. I have never sat through more of a snooze fest in the NBA All-Star game. I talked about a lot of different ways that they could. I talked about a lot of different ways in which they can improve the All-Star experience for fans. All-Star game was terrible. Nobody plays defense. They're lazy, and it's like, I only want to be here for the notoriety, but I don't want to give the fans a great experience. Whether that's because I want to protect my injury, whatever the case may be. I wouldn't have even watched the All-Star game if we didn't have a basketball podcast. Not even lying to you. Wouldn't have even watched it. Jason Tatum is a bucket. In fact, in my opinion, since the All-Star break, and it's only been a week, Jason Tatum is knocking on the door of league MVP. I mean, he is having a heck of a season.
I want to kind of, if we got time, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But first of all, Kesey was right. Jason Tatum was going to win MVP.
55 points. He went G.
And I don't think he went G. I think he was just, no, I don't think he went G. I will say this. The
G.
coach for the East, which was the Boston Celtics coach, was playing a little favoritism. Drew only played like 8-9 minutes.
Good.
So with that being said, if you on fire, usually they just let you go. It was between him and Donovan Mitchell. So I think it pays to have strategy for Giannis, and he did have a strategy.
Yeah.
Well, to me, I'm never surprised, and I'm always surprised when people are surprised, but I also think it's one of those things where people just like to talk about stuff, or it's something to talk about. In this day and age, the competitive edge is gone from the entire NBA. And I'm not just talking about the All-Star game. I'm talking about throughout the season. And the people really save their energy, or for their best is for the playoffs. I sent you guys a clip, and it was a clip of JJ Redick's podcast, and he was talking to Miles Bridge, and he was talking about the All-Star game, and he was just saying like it's people. So you got some players who work hard for their buckets, and you guys who have it comes easy to them. So why would they try, especially on their break? And that's to me that just kind of sums it up as far as like these guys not really having a competitive edge. They don't really care. They got buku money, so it's not about the money. It's not about I'm just showing my skills off. They don't care about the fans. I mean, for an NBA player to care about the fan, you got to be either dying or a little kid who his parents paid too much money for a front row ticket, so you better get a towel or something. So it's just one of the things where like I'm never surprised by the outcome of the outcome of the All-Star game. I'm never surprised of how it went. Kesey?
I mean,
go ahead. No, you go.
He didn't say anything. I was
just saying. I was in the middle, and you just go ahead, man.
but yeah, it's
You did.
players don't play hard no more because it is what it is. I mean, that's the NBA now. Even the real live games, it's not 100% in every game. So, I mean, nobody has that I'm the big dog no more. It's like everybody just coasts through and then they want their shit. But coasting gets you where? Nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, at least the Pro Bowl, they try to be competitive.
I just go ahead. I'll let you go ahead. I don't want to interrupt
you. You can do it if it's about what I just said.
No,
go ahead.
no, I don't want to interrupt.
You know what I'm saying? In the Pro Bowl, that's not giving it a pass because it's terrible too. I haven't watched the Pro Bowl. I glanced at the Pro Bowl. I see they went to flags instead of tackle. But the NBA could do so much to fix it, right? Like instead of the All-Star game, maybe that's your in-season tournament, right? If you win, you get an extra whatever in the win column. I don't know how to fix it, but maybe it's that 2-on-2 tournament versus the whole All-Star thing. Maybe it's the bragging rights. But outside of the dunk contest, the whole NBA All-Star weekend was a snooze fest. It was a snooze fest.
I don't want to say. To me, it wasn't a snooze fest. Usually, the dunk contest is a snooze fest. I will say the All-Star game, the dunk contest did help the weekend. A competitive 3-point contest definitely always helps. I don't have any answers for the All-Star game as far as better things to do. I think that you can't you can't make guys play. So even if they were to put an in tournament, like an in-season tournament instead of the All-Star break, it would be one of the things where like guys will sit. Because if I'm not going to put my body to harm for an All-Star game, I'm definitely not putting my body for an in-season tournament.
If it had playoff implications, you would.
It depends on what the playoff implications were, because I don't even think people really see the advantage of home court unless you're a fan, or it's like 7 games. So I don't really see people see the home court. They're not there for the home court advantage. I think that guys play when they want to play, and unfortunately, that's just the way it is. We talk about LeBron James starting this buddy culture. I think that has something to do with it a little bit, but I think it's more of Kawhi Leonard having this setting the standard for, well, I'm not playing. What? I'm just not playing. Like he had a season high of 42, 46 minutes. Like when they went to triple overtime with Sacramento in the loss.
Good game.
That happened. That he hasn't been able to do that, or he hasn't done that, and I don't know how long. Maybe like 5-6 years. So I don't have no resolution for the NBA. I mean, a 2-on-2 tournament, 1-on-1 tournament would be cool, but even then, who like veteran guys that we want to see not gonna sign up for that.
I mean, I think, but I guess my thing is, as athletes, overpaid athletes, have some pride in the charity that you're playing for, right? If you're going to do that for the NBA, tell each player, pick your charity. Every player on the All-Star team, the winning charity gets $250,000. And
They already do that.
Not for every player, for the team.
Mm.
So, like, you know, the team Giannis was playing for Big Brothers, Big Sister of whatever state. And, you know, team LeBron was Boys and Girls Club, for example. So let each player maybe pick their charity and say, hey, if you're on the winning team, you're going to get $250,000. If you're on the losing team, you're going to get $100,000. So maybe let these players have an incentive to play for others, and maybe that'll help step it up. I mean, there was no defense. It was almost like a practice. It was like a really bad practice. So the NBA All-Star Game concept is dead. They're supposed to come to Milwaukee in 25 or 26, which I hope to be true, but I don't want to sit through a snooze fest. Like,
I think when it comes, that's when it comes. I'm not gonna trip. I'm never gonna trip because All-Star Games in Milwaukee. I'm not gonna trip because of that. And be honest with you, it is what it is. But I don't know. I like I said before, I don't have any resolution or any suggestions for the NBA.
Casey, do you have a resolution or suggestion for
I mean,
the All-Star Game?
I mean, it is what it is now. Everybody paid. Everybody worry about their next contract. So you don't have the effort. So why? So that's the main thing. And so, like, you got to look at it like this. And then now owners are putting it in their contracts. Like, if you get hurt in the All-Star Game, that takes away a certain percentage of what you get.
I've never heard that before.
It's in there.
That up?
No, it's in there.
I've never heard that before.
Have
you read a player's contract?
Have I ever read one?
Yeah.
I've seen one, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So
they can put whatever they want in their contracts.
Here's why.
As an owner and a GM,
I'm aware.
That's your investment.
I get it.
So you can say, no, you can't go to the All-Star Game this year.
So here's why I slightly disagree with you. Because these players
who
they're going to the All-Star. To be All-Star, you get paid for that.
You get an extra incentive, a bonus. But here's why I slightly disagree with you.
No, I'm saying like play hard. That's what I mean. Not like not play, but like play hard.
Here's why I disagree with everything you just said. Not to say you're wrong. What do they do in the summer? They play street ball. They play hard. They play pickup games. They play hard.
They don't.
What?
Yeah, they do.
What? Yes, they do.
Yeah, they
Our
do.
whole first episode of this season, we were talking about why is LeBron playing so hard and what is it called? Not the G League, but
not the G League and like A.
Not A.
I forgot what
whatever it was.
I don't think they was playing that hard.
Man, you are crazy. LeBron was putting on a show.
Yeah, even put on the show. That's it.
Putting on no. I ain't even talking about that. I'm talking about like the pickup games that they be having in these secret gyms where the media is not involved or nothing like that. They be going crazy.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. You do it all summer. You go hard in the Olympics, in the USA game. You go hard in your summer Drew League. You go hard in the Drew League. You go hard in the G League, and you do all that stuff. What is one game against the best in the NBA to go hard and give the fans something that they couldn't see otherwise? This is why this era of basketball, this is why there's no GOATs. This is why none of them will be better than the 90s era. Because Jordan, Magic, Bird, Shaq, all of them, Kobe, they went hard in the All-Star.
Because they wanted to beat each other. They wanted to show why I was the best.
But do you remember, where did Paul George get hurt?
Paul George got hurt in the Olympics.
In the Olympics?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't an All-Star game.
It wasn't an All-Star game.
Remember.
The only person who's been hurt in an All-Star game was Kobe. Kobe got his nose broke
by Dwayne
Wade.
And it was a good foul.
And Kobe said, "That's cool. I love it.
It's a good foul."
And he went on about his business. I mean, it's part of. Unfortunately, it's part of the game. And I think that when people say, "I want to see a competitive game," or there's no defense, like it's literally like people throwing lobs in them. If it used to be, if you threw a lob to yourself, you just so happen to have the opportunity. It literally wasn't. I'm finna go crazy and threw this lob and nobody chasing behind you. I think it was Tracy McGrady who was the last person I remember like throwing a lob to himself in game, and people were down there, but there's nobody was like finna jump with him or nothing like that. I just hate. I don't hate it. Like I'm kind of with Kesey, like it is what it is now because it's been so long of a non-competitive All-Star game. So I don't know about
even the whole formality of it is like off. Like, you know how They do like quarters.
That's what I'm saying. They've been trying to make it competitive by
It's-
doing that.
It's not making it more competitive. It's making everybody like, oh,
That was a tribute to Kobe that flopped, but I'll never forget it. I mean, two of my favorites, maybe last year was Giannis was coming in for some crazy dunk, and what did Steph Curry do? He ran out the way.
Oh,
He
didn't wanna get
ran
dunked
out the
on.
way,
He didn't want to get dunked on.
and he got on the floor and he took cover. I get it, antics, but come on, man.
he would do that in the real game though. You see Giannis coming.
Man, ain't nobody running.
Ain't a lot of people jumping with
You
Giannis.
got to take a poster though. That's one thing I like about Giannis. Giannis will take a poster.
He will.
He will take a poster. Take a poster. So All-Star game it is kind of deflated. NBA has a lot of work to do, and it's also a pretty bad popularity contest. When you look at some of the players that didn't make the All-Star game this year, you're like, he wasn't on the team. He wasn't on the team. He, like, for example, Devin Booker, did he make it this year?
He did not.
No.
James Harden didn't make it this
He
year.
shouldn't have.
He been hurt, not. He hasn't been consistent enough.
But there are some players on the All-Star team that you're like, you didn't make it or you made it. You know what I'm saying? So NBA, Adam Silver has done really good by the NBA. Remember, we were doubtful about this whole play-in tournament thing. It's genius. It's genius.
It is.
And so he can go to the drawing board with his team, with his execs, and they can create a meaningful experience for fans and players.
It's not on him.
He can create something.
It's on the players to determine.
It is on the players.
They have to make that determination. Like, we have to make this more competitive as a whole. We can't just keep going out here just throwing lobs to each other off the backboard and throwing lousy passes. It ain't even respectful to the game, to me, if you ask me.
I mean, the other thing you could potentially do, you could have the All-Star weekend and maybe take the best in the West versus the best in the East. And no, what I'm talking about, for example, who's number one in the West right now is the Denver Nuggets. Take the Denver Nuggets and put them against the number one in the East, which is Boston, during the All-Star weekend. You're going to play each other, right? For an actual seat in that win and loss column. You take the second seed.
But they already played each other during the season.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's more of an emphasis now because it's All-Star weekend and it's a preview of, like, today at the Bucks Suns game, it felt like a preview of the NBA Finals.
I don't think so, but
I do. It felt like a preview of the NBA Finals without two superstars playing the game. Because if Kevin Durant is healthy, Phoenix should have a nice walk to the finals. A nice walk to the finals. And so maybe you take the top teams and you have them play each other during that weekend as a bonus game. So meaning if you're the top four, you have a chance to have one more win in the column than anybody. So instead of an 82 season game, you have an 83 one because you're the top seed. So that gives you a chance to not only flex during the playoffs because you got that one more win to get that home court advantage. Just some ideas. There's some things they can do.
Okay.
There's some things they can
do. Now,
because at the end of the day, if the players don't want to play hard, they ain't going to play hard.
That's true.
That's what it is.
If it has playoff implications, though, they will.
If money ain't going to make you do it.
But they're rich. That's a poor person's comment. Not to say you're poor, but people like us, we can say that.
Hold on now. Hold on a minute. You better watch your mouth now.
They played each other too, but it was too lopsided and it was very sloppy basketball. That Rising Stars tournament barely holding together.
Yeah.
But moving on, after the trade deadline, there's always the buyout season. And now that the buyout season is over with, we have some notable players who have signed with some different teams. First is Russell Westbrook signed with the Los Angeles Clippers after being bought out by the Utah Jazz. What do we think about
Repeat that,
this?
I'm sorry.
I said Russell Westbrook a guy has signed with the Los Angeles Clippers after being bought out by the Utah Jazz. What do we think about this?
I don't think he's a difference maker on a roster.
I don't think he's a difference maker.
I think he's a consistent. I mean, he's going to be consistent, but at the same time, like,
consistent in what?
He'll get you 15. 15 and 8
15 and 8, what?
and 7.
and 7 turnovers. But he's going to get you 15 and 8. But at the end of the day, it's still going to affect you in the plus minus column because of his liabilities. You know what I mean?
Russell Westbrook should be thanking one person and one person only.
PG.
Paul George.
That's the only reason he got there.
That's the only reason he's there right now. Leonard didn't want him. The staff didn't want him. Paul George convinced everybody, hey man, he's gonna be good for this team. I will say I don't know how good he's gonna be. His first game, he had a double-double.
But it's not hard for him to get a double-double.
It's not hard for him to get a double-double, but it was like 18 and like 13 or something like that, or 18 or 14.
But that's normal for him. He was doing that with the Lakers, but it wasn't.
But he wasn't consistent. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think once time goes by, I need to see consistency with Russell Westbrook. And that's the thing that we want to see with Russell. Even if he averages 15 and 12 assists, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's consistent.
Listen, that spotlight is off of him right now. He's going to play better now. A little bit better than what he played in L.A.
That's what I'm interested to see.
Playing in L.A. for the Lakers, you have to be ready for a lot. And I don't think he was ready for what the media, fans.
I don't think he fit the Lakers system, though.
That too, but like playing alongside LeBron comes with some flaws. It's some cons to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's some pros to it too, but there's some cons. And if you can't handle the cons,
not flaws, pressure. Because a lot of pressure playing with LeBron.
I wouldn't say pressure.
Yeah, it does.
I don't say pressure.
That's why Kyrie had all that pressure.
No, I'll say a little bit of pressure, but more leaning towards what Kesey said, because your numbers, they dwindle a little bit, but also you have to adjust to LeBron. You can't play your game as you
can play your game, but you also have to be willing to make sacrifices some nights.
So
yeah, that's true.
So let me say this.
And everybody that's an all-star or a big name player is going to want to give up, make those sacrifices or those adjustments to their game.
After listening to a couple of our podcasts and a couple other sports folks, I want to publicly apologize to Russell Westbrook.
For what? Here we go. Number one. Hold on a second. That's very well quick.
Here we go.
Are you publicly apologizing because you genuinely feel this way? Because I know where you're going.
You don't know where I'm going.
I know where you're going.
You're a prophet now?
Was
he a prophet in the Bible?
Someone say that he was. Someone say that, but that's neither near here nor there.
Bad, but
neither here nor there. But the point is
not a prophet in the Bible.
Is this
he was bad.
Is this your genuine opinion?
Let me get to it.
Go ahead.
Okay. The way that the Los Angeles Lakers and the NBA have turned their back and make that man feel like a cancer is disgusting to me. It's one thing to say Russell Westbrook doesn't fit the team chemistry, but the Los Angeles Lakers threw him away like Alabama trash.
They did not.
They did.
No.
Let me finish.
Alabama.
Let me finish.
I'm sorry.
That's a movie reference.
That's
a Temptation. Have you ever seen the movie The Temptations? It's a movie reference. Here's why. Because you said in the beginning, Russell is going to get you a bunch of turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Point guards get turnovers. Let me finish. Guess who's leading the NBA in turnovers right now for point guards?
Who?
Luka. Followed by Luka. Dame Lillard. Shields Alexander. Kyrie Irving. Ja Morant. Trae Young. Fox. Brunson. Westbrook is not even in the top 10 leading turnovers. He's not even in the top 15. But we're focused on all the negative that we paint the picture of Westbrook with his turnovers. But he also had, in that debut game, he had 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 turnovers, which is literally less than what other point guards have. Let me finish. Is Westbrook a challenging teammate? Yes. But to write him off as a player that cannot be effective anymore, I think is wrong.
It wasn't the Lakers who said he wasn't effective.
I think it's wrong.
It
I'm
was-
just talking about
you-
sports
but
world.
I'm
Period.
just saying the person who told him he was
His agent.
it was his agent,
And
he didn't want to hear that.
now,
And I'm gonna tell you like this, since you want to go.
let me finish. I wasn't done. You cut me off. I wasn't done. Now, if Russell, should he take more of that role player role? Absolutely. Absolutely. He should embrace that you're not the Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder. But I think Westbrook can still be a viable option to a team if he embraces his role as a role player. That's all I'm saying.
If
Give
was
him-
a fifth,
boy.
I'd be drunk.
Oh boy.
And,
Just give him a
hold on a
chance.
second.
Hold
Hold
on.
on a second. You said it. You said if he embraced, if he does
Oh.
this, and you know what happened? He didn't do that. He
You gotta
didn't
give him
want
a
to do
chance
that.
with the Clippers.
Oh,
It's only been one
no,
game.
he
No.
didn't want to deal with the Lakers. He didn't want to deal with the
Listen.
There
Lakers.
was somebody else playing.
No, he didn't want to do it with the Lakers. That's why he got put on the
They
bench.
gave him so many different options.
He was starting.
I don't disagree with that.
even when he said like
I don't disagree with
even. But my thing is, you just named all these players who got the high amount of turnovers, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What was the
And
what
Giannis
was-
is in the top 5 overall.
what was the average?
The average turnover is okay. The average turnover
What was Luka's?
is Luka, and Luka is averaging 3.6 turnovers a game.
3-point what?
6 turnovers a game. So about 4 turnovers a game. It doesn't mean that he has less than 4. What it just means is on a night, you can get Luka's good for 3 to 4 turnovers. Now, overall in the NBA, Luka's first, Embiid is second, Lillard's third, Giannis is fourth, Gildress Alexander's fifth, and Tatum is sixth, and LeBron is seventh. He averages more turnovers than Brody. So all I'm saying is people are riding him to be a turnover king, and he's not even a turnover king.
But you got to remember this though: LeBron is playing. Luka is playing 40 minutes a game. They're barely out of the game. Without them in the game, the team is struggling. And then you got the Brody coming off the bench, right?
Mhm.
Playing 21 minutes, and he got 8 turnovers in 21 minutes.
It doesn't
That's a lot.
happen often, though.
It does.
It doesn't.
It-
The stats don't lie.
Go look at the stat sheet.
I'm looking at it now.
Ow.
Stats don't lie. NBA turnover stats.
Leaders.
Number 1, Luka. Number 2, Embiid. Number 3, Lillard. Number 4, Giannis.
I'm not
Number
even
5, Gildress Alexander. So I'm not saying that Brody doesn't turn over the ball, but I'm saying if we're putting him on a cross because of turnovers, that's not right.
We're not putting him on a cross because of turnovers specifically. We're putting him on a cross because Russell Westbrook refuses to change. You can't do what you was doing in OKC. You can't do what you was doing in Houston. You can't do that. You're declining. So you need to take a step back. Guess what?
Agreed.
Guess what James Harden
Did
did?
you hear what I just said? Agreed.
Exactly. So when you talk about your apology,
I'm
hold
apologizing
on,
because
let me
Go
finish.
ahead.
When you talk about his apology, we want to make sure this. I'm not sitting here saying that Russell Westbrook should not be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be.
I said it to you.
I'm not saying that he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be one of the greatest point guards ever to ever play this game. He averaged a triple-double for 2 seasons straight. My thing about this is at every point in your career, everybody can't do what LeBron do, which is exceed at a high level in 20 years in. Russell Westbrook not even 20 years in and he's declining. So accept that you're declining. Accept that you're declining and make some adjustments. Russell Westbrook refused to make adjustments.
But you also got to remember,
on top of him, his turnovers, his turnovers is because Russell Westbrook trying to do stuff he can't do. His bad shooting percentage is because he's doing something he can't do anymore. Instead of you shooting that 3, go to the rack. I've seen Westbrook literally
said
play.
Luka's averaging how many turnovers a game?
According to this, 3.6 turnovers.
That's the same thing. Westbrook is averaging right now. 3.6.
It's not. It's not.
Last year he averaged 7.
It's not.
Jesus Christ.
We're literally looking at the turnover leaders right now, and if you break it down by position, It's not. Nevertheless, I don't disagree that, yes, he does need to be a better teammate. Yes. But all I'm saying is people act like Russell Westbrook is one of the worst players in basketball. Is he a challenging teammate? Go ahead. I think it works. Is he a challenging teammate? Perhaps. But all I'm saying is let's not act like Russ still can't be a contributor to a basketball team.
And you got him still shooting all these threes, and he's shooting 28%.
But sometimes teams do that. You know what team shoots a lot of threes? Ours. The Bucks.
Okay.
That's part of Bud's strategy.
Okay.
Shoot.
Okay.
Keep shooting.
But
Keep
also,
shooting.
he goes to the hole. He's trying these left hand off the glass shots. He's trying these backboard shots. It's not working. The stuff that he used to do
I just want to put this out there.
don't work.
Go ahead.
So
real
Russell,
quick.
17 and 8 points.
Dre.
You're saying nobody can use that.
Dre. I just want to real quick, Dre. The leader in you talk about the leader in turnovers, right? The leader is Trae Young. Westbrook is.
Are you looking at point guard?
I'm looking at overall turnovers per season.
We're talking about stats. So
I'm talking about stats. What that say? 3.6.
So we're looking at two different things.
You didn't tap it.
I did right here.
It say Luka because he's averaged the most points in the game. You look at the wrong section.
Oh, yeah.
Russell,
yeah. Never mind.
Russell Westbrook is number 4.
Okay, you're right. I stand corrected, but it's still number 3, actually. Not that you look at it. No,
he's number
right
4.
Here, if you look at turnovers, right there.
Yeah, where's
47?
looking at just point guards.
Turnover now, but still, that's a lot of people ahead.
Fine. Point guards.
Point guards.
Point
Yes.
guards.
He's like number 47.
He's number 3 in everybody else in the league, including Giannis. Giannis number 2, by the way, but he's number 4. He's
Okay.
number 4.
So he's number 4 under turnover. So where are you looking? Because that's not what mine says.
I'm looking at all positions.
All positions. If you look at turnovers,
He's number 4.
no, he's not.
Yes, I'm looking at it right now.
Jesus Christ. You're an old man.
Nevertheless, even at number 4, he's still not number 1, 2, or 3.
But Giannis got the
Look at
ball
that.
in his
Look at
hand
that. What's his
80% of the game. He's tied with Nikola Jokic.
Ranked in blocks.
Sure. So he's number 4.
He's tied with Joker.
He's tied with Joker, but it's still not number 1 or number 2. And we're talking
He's in top 5.
all positions. Fine. He's top 5.
You've been proven wrong, sir.
He's top
Just
5.
move
I said
on.
that.
Just move on.
I know we're not going to move on because proven wrong. He's still not top. So you're telling me that you're not going to take his 17 and his 8 just because he's number 4 now and not number whatever
I
I
don't want Russell Westbrook on my team just because you have a problem adjusting. So if you have a problem adjusting, that means you're uncoachable. So that means
I wouldn't want him on the Bucks either.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so if you're uncoachable and you don't want to make adjustments, I don't need you on my team because I'm trying to advance you. Instead of you taking my expertise, even though he's been, whatever, it's Darvin Ham. So but the point is, it's one of them things where like, I don't want to sit here and say Russell Westbrook can't contribute.
Right.
But how is he contributing?
So go back so I want the listeners to be so we can give the right stats. Who's number 1 in turnovers in the NBA right now? All positions. Number 1.
Trae Young.
Number 2.
Giannis.
Number 3.
Luka.
Number 4.
Russell.
Number 5.
Joker.
Number 6.
Kevin Porter Jr.
Who? No. Now.
He's Houston.
I know. That was one of your jokes. Who? Go to point guards now. Number 1 in point guards. So we want Radio Land to hear the right stats. Number 1.
He's number 3.
Who's number 1?
Trae Young.
Who's number 2?
Luka.
Okay. And number 3?
Russell.
So we're not throwing away Trae and Luka, right?
Depends on the situation.
Because Trae is bad. To me, Trae is getting a Kyrie reputation.
Trae Young is starting to find out that the villain role doesn't suit him as well as he thought it did.
It does not.
With Luka, he has the ball 90% of the time. Mm-hmm. Even with Kyrie on the team now, it's down to 80. But he's still 90% ball in my hand. As far as when it comes to, I'll skip over Russell for number 3. The same thing with Ball. With
Lonzo or
LaMelo Ball, same thing with him. Same thing with John Morant.
Point guards get turnovers.
Your
That's
boy
what
Curry.
I'm saying.
But what my point is, all of these guys have the ball in their hand 90% of the time.
Correct.
So when you
Westbrook
talk
doesn't.
about Westbrook doesn't, I wasn't even talking about
That's because he's with who?
LeBron James.
LeBron's a point.
And-
point
So if you got the ball in your
And-
hand, Les, there's no way you should be fourth in the league in turnovers,
All
and
right.
you're a veteran.
well, you've already said he doesn't play a lot, Keith.
But 21 minutes and you getting 4 turnovers a game almost,
It happens.
that's a lot.
It is a lot.
All
Why
I'm
you
sa-
trying to have excuses for him now all of a sudden?
I'm not.
Because he with the Clippers now?
No,
Because he watched ESPN.
I don't care about the
So,
Clippers. I don't care about the Clippers.
I didn't say you did care
all-
about the Clippers.
This is all I'm saying about Westbrook is
we should get off his back.
we shouldn't be writing him off because he can still contribute to a team. Now, let me say this.
Mhm.
If he goes to the Clippers, and I agree with a lot that you said, if he goes to the Clippers
Mhm.
and he is still the same Brody who wants to take the last shot, who doesn't embrace his role,
Mhm.
then we can say, you know what, dude? Because listen, this is his 5th team in 4 seasons.
I asked you this last week. I'm gonna ask you again. Is this it for Russell Westbrook?
I'm gonna say it's not it.
I'm saying it's Dunzo.
I'm gonna say it's not it. Somebody will sign Russ.
He'll play, but he won't make it that money again.
Oh no, this is his last big contract.
As
As it should be.
First of all, big
What
contract.
is he
Yes,
making? 60 million, 40 million?
something like that.
$40
Yes,
million?
big contract. That's obviously not going to happen again. I'm saying, is this it for Russell Westbrook?
I don't think he'll be Carmelo. No.
He will be Carmelo. What do you think, Kesey? Will he be Carmelo?
Hmm.
Carmelo on his way back.
Yeah,
To
okay.
who?
The
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Okay.
Oh,
He don't play
yeah.
defense. Continue. Is
No
he?
one on Phoenix
Is he?
does
Is he
either.
Dunzo? Is Westbrook Dunzo?
Yeah,
Okay. Now we gonna.
he'll play here and there from different teams, but he won't have a consistent role anymore.
And is that okay though? He should be, and that's what I'm saying. If he doesn't embrace that you're no longer the Russ of OKC, then he needs to be written off.
He hasn't though. So what makes you think he gonna do it this year?
I think
If he didn't do it this year, and first of all, they had to fight him to come off the bench. If he didn't do it this year, what makes you think he's gonna do it next year?
that's a good point.
Now, moving on, next
I
player.
try, Russ.
Kevin, he tried. Kevin Love has signed with the Miami Heat.
I'll
after a
send you your
buyout.
money back. It didn't work.
Kevin Love has signed to the Miami Heat after a buyout from the Cleveland Cavaliers. I thought this was just a vacation spot for Kevin Love, and he like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I seen Kevin Love at the game.
No points.
No points.
No points.
That's, his first game was no points. He has some points second game.
He got some rebounds and some assists and some turnovers.
Now this is low key. This is my guy right here. Patrick Beverly has signed with the Chicago Bulls after the buyout from Orlando Magic. This is my guy because he has a podcast, and his co-host asked him. He was like, "So now what?" He's like, "Oh, what's your goal?" He's like, "Easy, get the Lakers off the playoffs. We play them twice." I said,
Who's at that, Bad Bev?
Pat Bev said
Oh.
that. I said, "My nigga,
Oh,
my nigga."
come on, Z.
I'm sorry, my
We're a
bad.
family show.
But what? We'll talk about that later. Anyways, but my thing is
Okay,
Pat
hold on.
Bev always got that competitive edge to him. He's like, "Oh, y'all gonna kick me out? Y'all trade me? All right, cool. Y'all won't make the playoffs."
Well, before you go any further,
Uh-huh.
since you didn't bring it up, did you see how many turnovers he had in that game
Who?
against the Kings?
Who?
Westbrook.
Yeah, 7.
That's a lot of turnovers.
That's 7. I said in the beginning.
It's not a lot of turnovers, Kesey, for a triple overtime game.
Hey,
Now
right.
for 48 minutes.
I said that. I said in the beginning. I said, yeah, he had 17, 8, but he also had 17. I made a joke about him
Kawhi
having a near
played-
triple double.
Kawhi played more minutes than anybody. He played 46 minutes. Guess how many turnovers he had?
He's
One.
not the point guard.
2.
He's not the point
He got
guard.
the ball in his hand more than anybody on that roster.
He ain't the point guard.
Why you defending him so
Because
hard?
point guards have turnovers. It's facts.
They do, but Westbrook doesn't have the ball in his hand all the time.
Hmm.
He's not in that role anymore like Damian Lillard and them in Luka, where the team is going off his dime.
Let the record show I had moved on from Westbrook.
Well, I
He
just
brought
want
us
you to
back.
know. Again,
He just brought it
7 turnovers is a lot of
back. I
turnovers.
like it. I agree. But it was 3 quarters.
that's-
175 points,
They,
Keith.
they still lost
Good. It,
with
get-
7 turnovers.
it brings
He
the
don't-
Bucks closer to number 1.
And Sacramento probably scored off of 5 of them.
Shout out to Sacramento and Mike Brown, Coach of the Year, man, because
Coach
Sac
of the Year.
has sucked for
But
years.
Pat Bell better sit down somewhere because every time he comment, he eat his own words.
In Chicago-
Every single time he open his mouth.
You ain't feeling that.
Chicago sucks.
Chicago
Exactly.
does suck.
Chicago
And he's
sucks.
No, he no,
suck.
here's the thing. He hasn't acknowledged it, but he ain't say we going to the playoffs. He didn't say we went over the championship. He said those guys over there, if I'm sitting at home, y'all gonna be sitting at home too. And I'm like,
He
I'm
can't
for it.
control that. He's not even that good.
He can control. Look, Pat Bev can't control nothing. Let's just call it. Let's just call it what it is.
Because
That's like me saying, hey, y'all won't win.
Because Pat Bev is a joke now, man.
I-
He talked too much.
Now the question should be: is Pat Bev done? Yeah,
No,
He talked too much.
Nah.
He literally opened his mouth at the wrong time.
every
Just
time.
like when Russell got traded there, his first thing was back with the Brody, back with the bro. We
Now
back
they
at it.
besties. Now they besties.
Now we back at it again. And then 33 seconds later, he was traded.
That's true.
Talk too much,
the Bulls,
too fast, too soon.
the Chicago Bulls are a game out of play-in tournament, and they can't beat any of the teams in 7 through 10 right now.
The better question is, can the Bulls beat the Lakers?
No,
That's the
No.
only thing you should be asking.
No,
because the
What?
Lakers.
Anthony Davis is come too.
Anthony Davis is what?
Anthony Davis has been balling.
Stop it.
He's been challenged.
Hey.
But he's been balling.
And guess who they just beat?
The
I seen
Knicks,
that.
right?
No, they beat Dallas today.
They just beat Dallas.
They sure did.
They came
And
back.
score over Luka to, I think, seal the game.
I think so.
Oh,
I'm gonna say this: Pat Bev, be quiet.
3 games,
Be quiet.
What?
3 in a row.
Hold on a second.
They got Woodard Russell. They didn't won 3 in a row.
And
Time out,
the
They won 3 in a row all year.
Talk about.
They won 3 in a row all year, but they trade Russell and they go 3 in a row.
and D'Angelo Russell's hurt already.
Time out.
They can live with that
Number one,
because they
that's
got some bench players now.
No, they don't. No, they
No,
don't.
What?
No,
You don't like
No, they
Vanderbilt?
don't.
I do like Vanderbilt.
You said one player.
You don't like Bleasy?
I like Bleasy. I like Vanderbilt. I like Schroeder coming behind D'Angelo.
Dennis Schroeder.
I like-
But some of the players that was in starting roles, they actually get to play their roles now as bench players.
That's what I'm saying. My thing is this, Kesey.
That's what it is.
Here's my thing, Kesey.
And I said, do y'all remember me saying that?
Said what?
Say what?
That a lot of the players on the
Oh, yeah.
on their roster is actually should be coming off the bench.
Yeah.
They like Lonnie Walker.
First of all, let me
And
do-
look where
hey,
he at now.
Oh, he-
Hold on. Look where he at now.
Hey, first of all, I do see where he at. Number two, that's number one. Number two, they got some better shooters. I didn't say Lonnie Walker was the bee's knees.
But
I'm
what
saying
he
he was one of their best shooters.
He was their best shooter, and look where he at now.
on the bench because they got
Searching.
better shooters.
Searching for some minutes. Searching.
Now hold on a second, Kesey.
He
Yeah.
buying.
Yeah.
He over there. He dang near about to be begging for some minutes.
My thing is this, Kesey. My thing is this. Too little, too late.
We'll see. Just like Stephen A. said, I'm not writing them off.
I will
I'm not.
with a permanent marker.
I like
here
the
it is
fit.
right here.
I like the fit.
I like the fit too for next year.
No,
Not this year. They're done.
no.
They're done.
You think so?
Because you beating Dallas.
They only
You
hold on.
beating Dallas don't do nothing. I'm gonna tell you why I don't do nothing. Because Dallas over there having their own issues with Kyrie and Luka.
They only got to go 14-6 for the rest of these games.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Casey, there's 20 games left. Do you see who the Lakers have to play? They have one of the toughest schedules
Yeah.
left for the season.
Luka is tough.
Huh?
Yeah.
Luka is tough.
Don't act like Dallas is contending like
Come
that.
on, bro.
Stop.
They're not that tough.
But Luka's tough.
They're not.
and
Luka is
Kyrie.
tough.
They're not-
Kyrie,
And Kyrie
is
is
tough.
tough.
Individually.
individually, but come on.
Together?
No.
But before the trade, they would have got blew out.
Before the trade, they might
They
have
would
won
have
that.
got. They would've
No,
got
because
blew out.
They might have won
AD balled out today. AD is under pressure.
They all balled out.
AD
Hold on.
is under pressure.
You know what?
26, 16,
Now,
15.
hold on a second. How much? Who's the AD?
Yeah.
He won't have it for another 2 games. 3 games. He won't have it for another 3 games.
Bet.
The Lakers coming
You're
up.
not money where
suck-
your mouth
look,
at.
The
you know,
Lakers
I gotta look at the
have-
schedule.
The Knicks.
They'll beat.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Knicks on
All
the
they got is Jalen
Knicks,
Brunson.
Knicks are on a winning game, on a winning streak. They'll lose that game. What's the next one?
New
will
Orleans.
lose?
They'll lose that game. Next one.
Houston. They
They'll
should
that
win.
game. They'll win
They
Houston.
should win.
They'll beat Houston. They'll lose to the Pelicans.
They just beat the Pelicans.
I know they won't do it again. They'll lose to
wanna-
the Pelicans.
y'all wanna put
and
some
then
money on this?
Okay,
I wanna
okay,
put no money
okay.
on
Put some money down.
I
Hold
wanna
up,
put no money
hold
on.
up. Memphis, they'll lose.
They'll lose that game.
OKC, they'll lose.
OKC, they'll win that game.
Who? Because
Who?
The Lakers.
Man, OKC is balling.
why
No,
do you
they
think
young.
these teams are going to beat the Lakers?
I said it before the trade. Before the trade, they'll win that game. They're gonna beat OKC because they're young.
I'm talking about like Memphis and them. Memphis and them.
Oh, they're
they're
contenders.
young, but they're not that. They're not
Minnesota,
consistent.
Minnesota,
Winning. They're not consistent.
Yes or
Golden
no?
State.
I get that. Yes or no?
Memphis, Toronto, New York, New Orleans, the Rockets,
Don't go down the whole
Dallas.
thing.
I mean, I'm okay. Let me just go through the marquee teams the Lakers have left. Golden State.
They'll win that game. Where's it at?
It doesn't say. It just says versus here. Golden State.
If it's in Golden State, they'll lose.
Memphis
if it's in
twice.
LA, they'll win.
Memphis twice.
They'll lose
Dallas again.
Games. They'll lose that game.
Phoenix twice with a possible healthy KD.
They'll lose both those games.
So it's 50-50. They have some easy games. So the Lakers really could walk into a fifth seed if they win some of these easy games. So, I mean, their schedule's okay. They got a good 10
But everything I
games.
say, but before I said before you start reading that schedule, you was like, oh, no, they won't make it. They won't even make the
They
playoffs.
still have 10 teams. They have 10 games that could be losses.
The question is, are they
Easy
going to go
losses.
14-6? You said they need to go 14-6. Do you believe they honestly can go 14-6?
14-6, and they're not in the play-in.
No.
That's what they have to do.
So they have to win 14
You think they're going to win
games.
14-6?
They have 20 games left.
And
they
you
have
think they're going to
20
win
games
14 out of 20?
With D'Angelo Russell on the injured list already.
They'll go
Fine.
10-10.
He'll be fine.
LeBron playing
He'll be
like
fine.
Kawhi Leonard.
They didn't even need him today.
They'll go 10-10.
They didn't need him today.
They'll go 10.
They didn't need him today.
They'll go
They
10
didn't need him
and
today.
10. You
They
heard it
didn't
here
need him
first.
today. They didn't need him
I'm gonna say
today.
I'm gonna say they're gonna win 8.
8?
8
Win
and 12.
8 and 12.
Ooh.
Put some money down.
Don't you fall
Lakers
for
ain't
that.
my team. I don't care that
I know.
much.
You gotta wait till Curry get back.
Yeah, you know
then,
what I'm saying?
he'll
If
start
Steph
talking
was
about
in
it.
there, you know.
Yeah, that stupid bet he tried to make me. You remember?
No. You the one that shook and reneged.
No.
Can
Go
we-
back
and
and
listen.
because he tried to change
Go
the
back
deal.
and listen.
Go
Can we
back
move
and
on?
listen to how
Go
you had
back
to
and
change the
listen.
deal
Can we move
after
on?
after
move
the
on?
That's
after
not
the
how it
JP.
happened,
It is
Keith.
how
Yes, it
happened.
is.
Can we
That's
move
not
on?
how it
After the
happened.
deal, you
Can
tried
we
to
move
change the
on?
deal.
Tone.
Can we move
Would
on?
you tell him that's not how it happened?
It is how it happens. Can we move on? He was
Zeke, hold on. We're gonna end this right now. Zeke, did he change?
He's on your team always. So
He's not on my team always.
Oh no. I would
Yeah,
love
clearly, I'm his co-host.
yeah. Well,
So we ain't on the
we
same
both
team.
got demoted to co-host, so you know.
It is what it is.
Ryan Isabel, I apologize because now I've been demoted because I took you somewhere and didn't take him. So Ryan Isabel, faithful listener.
Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Ryan and his
Shout out to the Brody.
and his Accepted Outsiders brand.
Shout
got
out.
me some sweatshirts and something from my guy.
Yeah, except
It
his
is fire.
clothesline is kind of fire.
It's fire.
He better
It's fire.
stop. He better stop quoting Brock Lesnar for WWE. Do something on him, but you know.
But he can't. Oh, but those are the buyouts. The Milwaukee Bucks signed free agent Myers Leonard to a 10-day contract.
Hate it.
Hey,
I know why they did it,
it was
and
one
I'm
game out of play-in.
I'm okay. What?
Ooh,
The Lakers.
I said that. We know.
10
One
10.
game. One game out of
But
play-in.
the
10.
6 through 10, they can't beat none of those teams.
Yeah, they can. They just beat one.
Who?
The Mavericks. And they're number 6.
They're number
They
6.
beat the Mavericks. It's one game. Give Kyrie and Luka time. They won't beat them. They won't.
Look at him.
Going,
Look at him. Look at this.
They
they're,
won't beat 'em.
you know why they're not
They
going
won't
to
beat
Kesey? You know why
The
they're not?
Timberwolves is not good. The Warriors is not good.
The Timberwolves are without Cat.
The Jazz are not good. The
What?
Pelicans are not that good.
The Pelicans are without Zion.
And they're going to be without him even longer.
What's up, Tom? What do you mean? Who's good this season?
Boston, the Bucks,
What do you mean good? Though?
Denver.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. What do you mean good?
A lot of teams are not good.
It's more good teams this year than it's bad teams.
Agreed.
So that's what I'm asking. Like,
So I'm about to give them to you.
Who are the teams to look out for? Who's the team who you possibly seeing as the final 8 teams in the playoffs?
The Milwaukee Bucks,
All right.
the
Well,
Boston Celtics, the Phoenix Suns, the Denver Nuggets, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Memphis Grizzlies. That's 6 right there. The
Golden State.
if Steph comes back, Golden State,
Golden State.
the Clippers,
Sacramento.
and perhaps Cleveland or Brooklyn. Those are the elite 8.
First of all, Brooklyn's not in that conversation anymore.
Brooklyn is still number 5. What are y'all talking about?
Okay.
Brooklyn actually have been playing better since they blew up their team than when they were.
It's possible.
I mean-
who's got time to shine, who probably was really holding the team together, now can show you what they got. And there's no egos right now.
So I said Final 4 to me will be Boston, Milwaukee. It's hard for me to even say in the West because I don't buy the hype of the West.
I still, whether you buy the hype or not, is still
Denver will be a 1 or 2 done.
No, I don't think so. I
Okay.
think Denver. I'll put Denver. You know what? I'm getting crazy. Golden State.
Go ahead and say it.
I'm not gonna say it.
When Steph come back,
No, I'm not gonna say that.
They still are not. They still don't seem
Phoenix-
championship ready to me.
Phoenix. I'm gonna say Phoenix just because of when KD gets going, he's hard. He's a bucket. And then I'll say Memphis. Well, no, I'm not gonna say Memphis. I'll say Denver. I'll say Denver.
Wait to see Memphis.
I
I'll say Denver.
I don't believe in Phoenix because KD is starting to pile up these injuries. Every time you turn around, he's injured.
I've said that. He's
So
injury-prone.
I'm not believing in him.
Injury one and their injury all-star team.
Memphis, I'm not believing in them.
Nope.
Totally not believing in them.
You just don't like them. Just say you
Memphis-
don't like them. Just say you don't like
Memphis-
them.
They haven't proved anything.
Just say you don't like 'em.
Memphis is all hype.
All hype and trash talk.
The
How you talk about Memphis is all hype, but you believe that the Lakers gonna go 14-6?
because you got the king.
Go ahead.
So you can say what you want.
No,
They
yeah.
already did.
I mean,
I
you.
said what I wanted to say.
Yeah, no.
I'd rather believe in the king than to believe in some of these other teams because there's a lot of hype going on around the league right now in the West. To me,
LeBron can't do it.
the only team that I can see that's automatic, actually nobody, because Denver gets busted every time they get to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The Grizzlies get busted every time they go to the playoffs.
Depends on who they
The
play.
Suns get busted every time they go to the playoffs.
They changed
The
that.
Clippers get busted every time they go to the playoffs.
That's true.
The Mavericks get busted every time they go to the playoffs.
They ain't got
Kawhi Leonard hasn't
The only
played
team-
in
the only
playoffs
team that-
for 2 years.
the
to
only-
say that.
The only team that you can say that's consistent in the playoffs is the Warriors in the West.
And the
Nobody
Warriors,
else.
And the Warriors too.
And the Warriors don't look good right now.
They really. I mean, they look how they look without Steph, and it's not championship
They look-
caliber.
Even with Steph, they don't look championship caliber.
Depends on where they
I
playing.
like Steph,
Depends where
but
they playing.
Steph and them do not look championship caliber.
Depends where they playing at.
No. Draymond is washed up now.
So, do y'all like the Meyer Leonard 10-day contract
I
situation?
don't. He can shoot.
I didn't know he
can't.
could shoot.
No, he
shoot.
can't.
Yeah, he can.
He can shoot.
Yeah, he can.
He's straight.
You seen him shoot?
Yeah, I watched the game today.
Oh, yeah,
He
shot.
got away. He's a bucket.
I didn't
But-
say a bucket. I said he can shoot.
He can hit the 3 when you need him.
He can spread the floor, and with the way Giannis,
And he's a 7-footer.
the way Giannis is hurting, I'm cool with it because I want Giannis to sit down for at least 3-4 games.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna take Miles Leonard over Joe Ingles, who's been trash.
No,
for us.
no, I'm not
Yeah,
doing
Now
that.
I
you,
am.
now
I'm
you,
not doing
you
it. Now
smoking.
you.
I ain't
crazy.
smoking Joe Ingles. Have you seen his stat machine?
I have it.
Joe
They're not-
Ingles,
They're not pretty.
Not playing.
What do you mean?
He's shooting air balls. Bruh does not put the butt in the basket.
He hit some good big shots though.
He's
When they needed him.
He is Ingles is not what we thought he was.
Ingles,
He's
that's why
older,
Ingles is
but-
more of a facilitator, and they put him. You see, he was guarding Chris Paul the first half,
That's true.
and Chris Paul had one in the first half,
I don't know.
like 6 points or 7 points.
Yeah,
I
Jay
think.
He's
Crowder
long.
Also had one. Jay Crowder had 1 point.
Really?
And then they were chippy, but then he hit 2 threes in a row, and
That's what. But
he's
look,
emotional, man. Oh, he's emotional.
number one, we need it. Number two,
He's
number two, best signing of the year.
I like it.
Best signing besides Kevin Durant.
But-
Best signing of the year.
Bucks blew out Miami Friday night by a lot. And today they had a nice lead. It went back and forth. I mean, Bucks are good. Miles Leonard.
We struggle shooting today. The
I
Bucks,
was gonna say
the Bucks shot 13 for 45. That's 28% from 3.
Mhm.
That's not even like us.
We shot 45 3-pointers, and Joe Ingles shot many of them and missed them all. What did Joe Ingles have today?
Look, man, it's not about the. It's not about the number.
I'm
It's
just
not about the
saying.
number.
He had
It's-
4 points.
4
It's
points.
not about the
What was
numbers.
his? What was his field goal percentage today?
It's-
What was
But
it?
you got to remember, he ain't played
It's
in over a
not
year.
about the
It's not going to
numbers.
be consistent
It's
yet.
not about the numbers.
He got to
man.
find his rhythm.
Give
He's
him some
just
time.
now really getting consistent
time.
minutes.
So we're defending Joe Ingles.
I'm just saying, give him some time.
But I'm just saying the Bucks are in a phase where they're playing a lot of different players at different times. Everybody isn't playing consistently right now. Like some games, Pat don't even suit up, and he ain't even hurt
All I know is this:
What?
we
because
have
they're
the
trying
best-
to figure out who's going to be their 9-man rotation. Because they got
we have
13, 14 that can play.
So what I've seen today,
I think we have none of an 8-man. I think we have a 10-man playoff rotation.
I would agree.
A 10-man playoff rotation.
You know what's interesting?
A solid 10 too.
I watched today the Phoenix Suns. I think I know their strategy. So they had their second unit in the second quarter. Chris Paul wasn't on the floor.
Mm.
Ayton wasn't on the floor.
Mhm.
Booker wasn't on the floor. Clearly, KD wasn't on the floor. The Suns went 3.5 minutes and didn't score not one basket with their second unit.
Me and Kesey said that like when the trade happened, they traded their best 2 bench players.
So what the Phoenix Suns are going to have to do to stay competitive, they're going to need a starter with that second unit every time. So either Booker's going to have to be with him, Chris Paul, KD, or Ayton. Because I'm going to tell you like this.
Listen to this. Before you go any further, you can't say Chris Paul because he's not a scorer like that. Like
he's
he used
not.
to be. He's not consistent enough. He's not consistent enough.
If you get him in the spot, he can hit it.
No.
And you get him in the spot. If you get him
without Devin Booker
I know a lot of people agree with me that Dame is more of a scorer than a shooter. Just had to add that in there. But go ahead.
Number one, I know you did. Number two,
3 weeks ago.
That was last Sunday.
It was last Sunday. And you can tell each one of those people they wrong. You can tell them each one.
You can say whatever you want.
Score.
But like I was saying, I just made me forget my whole train of thought.
We talking about the Suns and Chris Paul being injury prone.
Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are going to have to be on the floor at all times. One of them is
48 minutes.
One of them is going to have to be on the floor at all times.
They're going to have to.
Because without it, they're trash.
So what do you say, barbecue chicken?
Yeah, they're cooked. They'll be cooked first round.
Oh no, bro, their second unit is bad.
Oh, I know their second unit is bad.
This, though.
Oh, it's bad.
Because you got to look at it like this. Imagine if you got to play the Bucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got 8 defenders that they can put on them.
They don't have to see them to the finals.
You got like 7 or 8 players that can guard. Because Giannis can guard.
Mm-hmm.
Holiday
can guard. Matthews can guard. Middleton can guard. Crowder can guard.
Brook can guard.
Connaughton can guard.
What's it called?
Brook can guard.
What's it called like too?
Crowder.
Joe.
Javon Carter can guard.
Side note, Javon Carter, if you're listening, pass the ball, man. Nah. Dang. Bro, one thing that Javon Carter gonna do is he go shoot.
If he,
that's his role to play D and shoot.
Well, that's his role.
Especially when Giannis is out. When Giannis is out, somebody else got to step up.
If he got to shoot, because if he don't shoot, number one, he gonna get cold, and number two, he doesn't get a lot of open shots like that. But when Giannis isn't playing, he don't get a lot of open shots like that.
Shout out to Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen was scoring too. So I like the Bucks. I don't think there's a team that will beat the Bucks in a 7-game series. But our biggest challenge, once again, will be the Boston Celtics.
I don't think it's gonna be this. So I think when it comes down to it, like Boston Celtics beat the Philadelphia 76ers on Saturday night.
That was a great game.
That was a good game. But my thing about that is, Jason, we have a better second unit, which is gonna help us.
Yep.
Beat teams like Boston.
I don't know.
Beat teams like the Phoenix. Beat teams that have a very good starting lineup, but that our second unit is going to help us beat these teams.
So our second unit has been Crowder, Middleton, Grayson Allen, Ingles, and Javon Carter. That's been our second unit. Yeah. And sometimes you sub in Carter for Connington, or you sub in Myers Leonard for Ingles. So our second unit has been okay, but it looks like the Bucks are experimenting with a lot of different second units, because I think one of y'all said it. Chris won't be second unit when the playoffs start.
No,
he's gonna be first unit.
But that's when Chris Connaughton comes in at
Matt.
But Matt Connaughton.
It's not Matt.
What is it?
Pat.
Oh, Pat. Pat Connaughton. That's when he comes in at.
But you got to remember, we still don't even got a spot for Matthews yet. He's going to play. He played D.
Hey, here's the thing about Matthews. Low key, he old. Here's the thing about that. Number two, he's a streaky
Javon
shooter.
Carter just as old.
Yeah, but he plays point guard. Matthews.
But John, I mean, we don't need that. We don't have to have a legitimate point guard because we got Giannis.
Yeah, we do. We got to bring somebody to bring the ball up. We talking about this second unit.
You got Joe.
The ball up. Okay. I like that.
That's what Joe has been doing. He's been the facilitator.
And long arms and stuff like that. I get that.
He actually pretty smooth with the ball in his hand. If you ask me.
Yo, shout out to the Bucks though. 14-game winning streak from beating good teams.
Yeah, that's true.
But and there's only 20 games left in the season, folks. Giannis is hurt, no timetable. Wes Matthews is hurt, no timetable. And
I want Giannis to sit out for at least 3-4 games.
You know what I like though about the Bucks? We don't really have any like flaws and like
we do
like liabilities for defense.
Yeah, we do.
Like liabilities.
A little bit.
You know what a liability is, right? Like you know he can't guard nobody. It don't matter who you want about.
We do.
Who is our liability?
Our liability is Grayson Allen.
No,
Grayson can play D.
Play some D.
And
he'll get a dirty play in there every now and then.
Grayson Allen can play some D versus somebody his size.
Hey,
Unfortunately,
hold on. I see why they say Grayson is dirty. He do some sneaky things.
Yeah, he do.
But guess what?
I like
people do the same thing to him.
They do.
Well, it's payback.
They slap him in the face. Yeah. They don't call the refs. Don't call it. I seen him get slapped in the face twice the game we went to yesterday.
And Grayson, the next play gonna hit you with an elbow.
Probably
because he ran past somebody and grabbed their whole shorts and turned them around, and the ref didn't even see it.
Yeah, Grayson Allen is dirty. He's been dirty since he came into the league. He was dirty in Duke.
When he was in college.
When he was in Duke, he was dirty.
Oh, he did it to dude in Miami. What's dude's name? The shooter.
Hero.
The other shooter.
Oh, Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson. And then Duncan Robinson was like, dude, why you do that? And he's like, looked at him like, dude, why you do that?
Duncan has had
and then
the biggest payday with no points.
Oh, so somebody a bit bigger.
Man, Duncan Robinson, $40 million for 0 points.
In a surprising move, the Atlanta Hawks fired their coach, Nick McMillan, after a 29-30 record. Assistant coach Joe Prudy will be interim coach, but the Hawks are in progress of offering the job to Quinn Snyder. And in another surprise move, they're exploring trading Trae Young.
They need to. He's been wanted out.
No, I don't think he wants out. I think that him and McMillan were bumping heads. That's why he got fired. And they always choose the superstar over the coach. They always choose the superstar over the coach.
You have to.
I'm not surprised by this because Atlanta Hawks have been one of the most disappointing teams to me.
Yep.
Especially when they have the same exact roster and they're just adding to it, but they still cannot put together a decent winning streak. They probably won't make the playoffs or the play-in tournament this year. So I wasn't surprised by it, but the beef between the coach and the superstar, that's never going to put you in a good position as far as your job goes, unless you're winning. And that's the only reason the Phoenix probably hasn't fired Monty, is because they're winning. But if they were losing, they'd probably fire him too because he's bumped heads with one of their superstars.
Outside of Trae
Collins.
It's the same roster. He's not what he used to be, though.
Who?
Collins.
He's been injured, so
yes
he's not as healthy.
No.
Bogdanovich, he hasn't stayed healthy all year.
He's not the sharpshooter.
And he didn't want to come to Milwaukee and we won a title. Scrub.
That's not what happened. But go ahead.
Yeah, it is.
No, he got
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not what happened.
He did not want to come.
He was ready to come.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
I don't believe it.
No, he didn't.
He did not want to
He
come.
did. I didn't say he wanted. It was tampering. That's what it was.
Woj said it. And Woj said it. I believe it.
Wow.
Woj is the word of the NBA.
Before we get up out of here, top five. Your top five MVP picks. Because I feel like this list is a little scrutinized. I ain't say scrutinized, but it's a little. Yeah, I'll say scrutinized. This list is scrutinized because right now, officially, the MVP race is coming down to some guys. It's coming down to hold on here a second. It's Joker, Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, Luka, and Giannis. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that?
Yep.
You okay with that?
I'm okay with the order that the NBA has it in right now too.
That's what you're okay with this order. You okay with this?
Absolutely. Because number one is Joker. Number 2 is Giannis. Who's number 3?
No, you didn't hear what I said. Number 1 is Joker.
Should be.
Number 2 is Jason Tatum.
I don't think it's number. No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
Number 3 is Joel Embiid.
Look.
Number 4 is Luka.
What are you reading?
I'm reading from the NBA.
I'm reading from the NBA too. And it has Giannis as number 2. It has Giannis as number 2.
You're reading from.
But you know, different people are gonna have different.
Okay, you know what? You guys a more updated list than I did.
Yeah. So
it's Joker, Giannis, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, and Luka. I don't like this list.
I like this list because Luka shouldn't be ever been in the top 3.
What?
I said what I said.
Here we go with this.
The top 3. I'm gonna give you top 3 right now.
You can't. Y'all the one who said you can't have a losing record.
He said that.
I said that.
You said they can't have a losing record and have an MVP candidate. Then how is he in there? Then they're not. They don't have a winning record.
His team number 6 in the playoffs. His team's number 6 in the playoffs. If playoffs start today, they would make the playoffs.
They would make play in.
They make playoffs. It's 6, 7 through 10.
They battling with.
Is it?
No.
Yes, it's 7, 8,
It's
9,
only
and
a
10.
It's only a
6, 7, 8.
It's
One
only
through
it's only
six
it's only
makes-
it's only 2 games.
1
between
through
them and
6.
Right.
1 through 6 makes the playoffs. 7 through 10 is the play-in tournament.
You're
If the NBA ended today, Luka and the Dallas Mavericks will be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
MVP.
But guess what? It don't.
MVP.
But it don't.
Here we go.
So my top 3 candidates for MVP in this order: Joker, Giannis, Jason Tatum.
I want to counter that with Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid,
In that order?
yeah, and Giannis.
Joker, you just, bro, he's a walking triple double.
I know, but
It-
I don't. Something about somebody said something. I heard somebody say something. I think it was on Twitter. It was like, if you like Joker, you're a nerd. I'm like, what do you mean with that? Because nothing about Joker game is amazing until you see his stats.
Well,
Yes or no?
So Joker is the big fundamental 2.0. Joker game reminds me of Tim Duncan.
Okay, so like I said
Well,
before,
is Tim, but what is Tim Duncan
he's one of
regarded
the best
as?
power forwards ever.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's
That's
cool.
all I'm saying.
Hey, that's cool. But by the way, if he don't win a championship, all those 3 MVPs, you can throw those out the garbage. I don't care
Agreed.
about that.
Agreed.
Now,
He won't
hold
win a
on.
championship.
Tim was a winner.
5
Tim was
champions.
winning.
Five
So, like I said before, nothing about Joker game is like, oh, did you see what Joker did with that hook shot? No, I didn't see that crap. I don't care.
But stats drive everything. You know
Do that.
this.
No, stats are cool, but they don't drive everything. Giannis, 55, 60, dunking on everybody. We're like, ooh.
But here's the thing, though.
Jason Tatum.
Here's the thing.
When it come down to last second,
No, Zeke.
bucket.
Here's the thing.
Go
Here's
ahead.
why we have to remember. You take away Joker from Denver,
That's true.
Denver stinks.
I don't deny that.
You take away Giannis from Milwaukee, Milwaukee's still gonna give you a nice run.
I said he's number 3. I gave him number 3.
He's gonna give you a nice run.
Oh, no, number
So,
4.
Most valuable player also makes their team better. Is the Bucks a better team with Giannis? Absolutely. But the Bucks can also maintain without Giannis. Win the title? Probably not. But you take away Joker from Denver, Denver's an 8 seed. Maybe a lottery team. Because Murray's not the Murray that he was before the injury.
That's true.
Jason Tatum is a baller, but Jaylen Brown is not too far behind.
To me, Jason Tatum is you can never count him out. And I think that he proved that yesterday. He's proved that over the season this year. You can never count him out. Even if he had a bad game versus Philly. But last second into the game, he crossed dude up. Once I seen him cross myself, he gonna make this.
Man, I'm surprised he make him fall.
He did a little bit, he did. But once he crossed him, bucket. So like I said before,
I'm going
go ahead.
Joker. Actually, I'm going Giannis, Joker, Tatum, Embiid. No, Tatum, LeBron, Embiid.
Do it one more time for me because I was thinking. One more time for Dre.
He
Tell
just broke
He broke what?
the scoring record
God.
that stood for.
Who cares?
Hold on, let me say something
Go
because
ahead.
I'm sick of y'all. You motherfuckers act like y'all ain't got no respect for the game, man. This
We do
man
got
that
respect
just
for the
broke a
game.
record that stood for 40 years, and all he needed was 36 points, and he put up the 36 points so easily. At 38 years old, and you still don't respect that?
I respect it.
And you got, and another thing that y'all don't even really understand is every team that LeBron has went to is better than some people's whole careers.
Oh.
I know you're gonna bring it in here.
So I had to.
If the Lakers were ranked 15th, LeBron would have beat the record. What's your point?
That doesn't mean he's on MVP.
He hasn't played enough to be even considered. He's been hurt.
I don't know
hurt.
about that. I don't know about that.
Everybody's been hurt.
I don't know about
And
that.
he's not, because he's still on the list.
By the way,
He's
the
like
Hawks
number
have
8 or
officially-
9 though.
By the way, the Hawks have officially hired Quinn Snyder.
While you're talking, he's played enough games. He's like they got to be like number 8 or 9.
For what?
MVP race.
That's not good, Kesey. That's not top 3. That means he has no chance of winning. We're not trying
that's because everybody's a hater.
Kesey, why?
Don't nobody respect the greatness that he's done, man.
What is wrong with anybody else having a chance to win it?
He hasn't even won a whole lot of them for you to even say that.
He's won 4.
He's won enough.
He has not won enough.
He's won 4.
For the career he's had, he has not won enough.
I'm not gonna get
And you can say what you want to say.
I'm
You don't
not-
got to get into it with me.
He's won enough. He's won enough.
I'm not.
He's won enough.
The career he's had, he has not won enough MVPs.
I agree with that. I agree
You
with
say
that.
what you want.
I
I agree
agree.
with
I
that.
agree
Y'all
that
kidding me, man.
LeBron.
Y'all tripping, man.
I disagree with you.
I agree that LeBron James should have maybe one more MVP.
He should have like 8 or 9.
No, one. Because I'm not going to give you this. I'm not going to give you MVP for doing the exact same thing every single year. I'm not going to do it.
That's why he should get it, because he's the most
No.
consistent NBA player in history.
When Russell Westbrook did the triple double
For 1 year.
for 1 year, and he did it another year, that was something amazing.
He didn't do it another year.
Oh,
He
I'm
did
sorry.
it 1
he did
year.
it. I think he averaged triple double 2 years in a row.
No, 1.
Fine, one. Either way it goes. That's another record that's never been broken. It took a long time to break, but it was something like, oh, you deserve MVP for that.
Man, he's been the most consistent player in NBA history, man. 20
What
years.
have you done
20
for
years.
me lately?
20 years of giving you the same thing
Tim
that
Duncan-
you've been looking for.
Tim Duncan
Not
was
20
consistent.
years. Not 20 years. 20 years.
He was in the first of all.
20
Tim
years
Duncan
he has
came
given
in-
you everything you
Tim
asked of
Duncan
him.
came into the league when he was like 21. First of all, second of all, we get it. LeBron is good. We're not saying that he's not good.
But see, that's the problem. Like you're doing right now. It's
What
just
am I
like
doing?
he's good. All right. It's okay.
Okay.
The same thing they do to Giannis. There's no way Giannis shouldn't be number 1 every time you bring it up.
Mm-mm. Because I'm not gonna look at Giannis isn't the only person in the league doing amazing things.
He does
So
amazing things.
hold on a second. So
he
I
does
should
amazing
skip.
things every single night, and he's 7 foot tall.
So because he's doing amazing things every night, I should skip over the other guys who are doing amazing things. Because Joker, if not a triple double every year, damn near close. And I'm sorry for the kiddies.
Giannis is too.
But yeah, I'm just what I'm just saying
So
is
what are you trying to say?
what I'm saying is this: when it comes down to these MVP award selections, you can't just, man, LeBron is doing it again. Give him another one. And LeBron is doing it again. Give him another one. There are other guys playing harder, and they're doing either. I don't want to say above.
Why are you saying playing harder?
I'm not saying. I'm
So
not
you're
saying
saying
harder.
LeBron don't play hard?
I'm not saying LeBron don't play hard. What I'm saying is LeBron is doing the same thing every single year, and that's what he should be doing. He's paying $1 million to take care of his body. He should be doing that. If he's not, he's
But
not.
what does
getting
that
his
have
money
to do
worth.
with what he's doing, though?
I'm
That's
saying,
what he chose to do.
Yes,
If he
I'm
doesn't,
saying
if
he should.
doesn't
He
choose-
should. He should take
they
away.
all make enough money to do it.
Okay, let's talk about
Everybody
Joker.
in the league
So
make
you should
enough
take
money
away
to do
from
it.
Joker. What Joker doing? You should take away from what Joker doing.
He's
Yes or no?
38 doing what these 26, 27, 28-year-olds are doing.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that kills me about LeBron. When you say are other guys doing or are other guys playing as good or better than LeBron James? Well, he's 38. Okay, so what?
So what?
So what?
How many 38-year-olds do what he do?
Not a lot of them because they was doing a
Have
lot
you
of
ever
drinking
seen
and
a
smoking and
You
drinking.
always got an excuse for everybody else. Everybody got an excuse for everybody else why they didn't do this, why they didn't do that.
Y'all got an
That's
excuse
why
for
he didn't go.
LeBron. You don't
That's
have an
it.
excuse for
It ain't no
LeBron.
excuse.
Y'all do have an excuse for LeBron.
What?
We ain't never seen this.
What
We
you
ain't
mean?
never seen
You
this.
ain't never seen that.
How many MVPs did Jordan have? He don't got 30. He ain't got 10.
How many he got?
Like 4 or 5.
He has 6. Get it right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't disrespect MJ.
My
Man,
bad.
LeBron is
But
the
the
GOAT.
point is,
Hands down, GOAT.
LeBron is the GOAT of joining other players.
LeBron is the GOAT. You can say what you want to say. Because Michael Jordan ain't number 1 in no category.
He
Not talk about
he's number one in the most important one.
what?
6-0 in the finals.
Go. Jordan has 5.
Bill Russell had how many
Bill Russell
in a
Bill-
row?
Bill Russell unfortunately passed away.
Okay.
So we're moving on.
So y'all keep talking about what Jordan did. The one thing y'all hold on to, somebody did better than him.
Yeah, you're right.
So then how can he be the GOAT then?
I'm saying no,
No, that's not a hater. I'm just saying.
I see.
See, now I'm a hater because
no, he's not a hater.
I'm not.
He's not
I'm a hater.
No, he's not a
because
hater.
I'm bringing up some facts.
I'm not. You're not a hater.
So I'm a hater for bringing up facts.
You're
Now
not a
you hear
hater.
that?
You're not a hater.
Because I just brought up some facts. I'm a hater now.
You're not a hater. You're not a hater. You're not a hater. I'm not gonna call you a hater.
That's a hater.
The thing about it is, you're right. You are right. Bill Russell has more championships than Michael Jordan.
And no one has ever called Bill Russell a GOAT. No one.
There has
Why?
been some
So then
people.
how can you call Michael Jordan a GOAT then? Because he
There
got
has-
6.
He changed the game of basketball.
LeBron did too.
Change the game of basketball for worse.
Can you,
I'm sorry. I don't want to
can
go
you
there.
say this has been another episode of the
I'm trying to. I've
No.
been trying to for the last couple of minutes.
Why? Because anytime somebody bring up something about Jordan, that's what you Jordan fan. That's what you.
Whoa,
No, you can't.
buddy.
How
Uh-uh.
can you? You can't do that.
What are you doing? Relax. Don't look. Don't let him trick. Don't let him trick.
Man.
Don't let him trigger word you. Don't let him trigger word
No,
you.
because this is what Jordan fans do.
I'm
I
not,
get it. No, but let me finish. Let me finish though. Can I finish?
go ahead. Go ahead.
I agree. Jordan was great.
Mm-hmm.
You can say you love him because he's your favorite player.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking at accolades,
Mm-hmm.
LeBron is about to be number one in some of the top categories in NBA history. And you still have only one thing you hold over his head.
Yeah.
And that's them 6 rings.
Yeah.
But there's somebody who got more rings than him. So how?
All I know is this. Here, I'm going to answer your question. You want me to answer your question?
How?
Do you want me to answer your question?
Why you get so defensive? You cut my whole mic off for that.
Good. Do you want me to answer your question? though?
That's a real hater.
Do you want to answer your question? Do you want me to answer your question?
Answer the question.
The thing about it is this, because we can hold Will Chamberlain record over LeBron James. There's things you can hold over LeBron James. This
You
whole
can't hold-
conversation,
But you can't hold the scoring over him.
yeah, he has a scoring title. He's been in the league for 20 years.
And people say he's the most passionate player in the NBA.
Here we go.
He's the most unselfish player, but yet he's still the number 1 scorer in the NBA history.
Casey, no one's saying that that's not important.
But everybody say Jordan's a better scorer.
Because at the end of
Jordan's
the
that.
at
Jordan's
the
this.
end of the day, I said Jordan was more of a finessing scorer, and that's why he's a better scorer.
He's not a better scorer because he's not the
I ain't
scoring
say-
leader.
Just because you put up more points, that don't make you a better scorer.
Yeah, it do. What makes you a better scorer then?
That means you just play more games than me.
Are you kidding me?
If you and me both play basketball,
And this has been another good episode
no,
of the 94
You
Feet
can't do
podcast.
You don't have the authority to do that.
I appreciate y'all, my brothers.
Listen,
It's time to go.
if you and I play
It's time to go.
basketball, If you and I play basketball, and I play every Saturday,
Mhm.
and you play twice a month, and I beat you on an all-time tone deaf basketball league, I'm the all-time leading scorer because I played more games. Does that mean I'm a better scorer than you?
He did it in less games than the person who actually held the record.
But
So
Jordan
what?
didn't play 20 seasons.
That's Jordan's fault.
I'm,
That's not
That's
not
Jordan.
LeBron's fault. That's Jordan's fault.
All I know is this. I don't care.
94 feet
No,
nationality.
I don't care how many points. I don't care how many points LeBron James
Everything
had.
you got to say, everything got to say. You don't got
I
no-
don't care how many points.
You want to end it when it's against your guy.
No, I'm going to end on this. He has 6 championships. Jordan
Bill
has 6
Russell
championships.
got 10.
No, hold on a second though.
Has
11.
So okay.
That's even worse. He got double almost.
So that means hold on a
So
second
what?
though. That's 2 people. Hold on a second though.
Oh, so
Hold
you-
on a second
so-
though. That's
so-
2 people that's better than LeBron James. Then if you want to go there, that's 2 people that's better than LeBron James.
No.
You want to keep going?
No, but that's
Okay then.
No, you can't do that.
What do you mean?
Because that's the
2
only thing.
people.
That's the only thing y'all holding over. Only thing y'all hold.
That's
over
the
LeBron.
only thing that matters because if you ain't got a ring,
It,
and if you them 73 games that
But
Golden
he got-
State
but he
won,
got
it
4.
don't mean a thing because
he got 4. He got 4.
he got 6, and you just said
He
Bill
only
Russell
2
got
away.
11. So that's 2
Okay.
players that's better than LeBron.
Okay, if that's what you
That's
want
how
to
you
say.
shut that
So
down.
now he-
94
now he
feet.
talking-
It's been won.
Now he talking stupid.
94. Wait, listen to us on.
Wow.
Thank you. He
I
need.
didn't.
Oh, he cut his
He
off.
needed it off.
So
It's been another good episode.
No, listen to us.
On Spreaker,
Spreaker.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere you can stream your favorite podcast. You can also listen to us on all streaming platforms and all social media platforms. And you agree with us?
Probably not.
94 Feet Nation, baby.